Should the Pistons trade for Zach LaVine? We're going to discuss that and some other trade rumors on today's episode of Pistons Intellect.
Lane, skies a jam. Dynamite dunk and the crowd loves it.
Welcome back to Pistons Intellect. I'm your host, Jack Kelly. You can follow me on Twitter at Jack_Kelly_313. And if you're feeling so kind, please hit that subscribe button. Today, we're just going to do a quick video kind of sharing my thoughts on some trade updates, specifically the Zach LaVine update we got this morning from James Edwards III of The Athletic, the Pistons beat writer. He dropped an article this morning just detailing some of the things he's hearing in relations to trades and transactions for the Pistons, as we're only a couple of weeks away from the deadline. So first of all, make sure you go check out that article. I'm going to put the link in the description. Go subscribe to The Athletic and support James in any way you can. He's probably the most plugged in. I think he is the most plugged in Pistons reporter and one of the best sort of writers going around. So go support him. Go check out the article. I'm not going to go through the entire thing here, but I just want to touch mainly on the Zach LaVine piece of all of this. James mentions that the Bulls and Pistons have had conversations involving LaVine. Chicago appears to be locked in on a package involving Bojan Bogdanovic and one of Detroit's blue chip players. Now, those blue chip players are the core four. One of the Bulls would want one of Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duran, or Sar Thompson. James later says that the Pistons have shown no interest in parting with any of those blue chippers, which should come as no surprise. So it is, and then he later says it is possible Detroit considers adding LaVine when if the Bulls' asking price goes down. However, those are discussions that have been happening and will continue to happen internally. So basically what I take from this is right now, with a couple of weeks ago to the deadline, the Bulls' asking price is still somewhat high. It's been reported by multiple national reporters that the LaVine trade market has kind of been at a hold, and there haven't been any desirable offers for the Bulls. And that is mainly due to the fact that Zach LaVine has, including this season, he has 4 years, approximately, if I'm just doing some quick math here, 4 years, around 160 million left. So if the Pistons were to trade for LaVine, they'd be taking on his 40 million for this season, 43 million the following, 46 million. And then in the final year of his deal in the 26-27 season, which is a player option, he is making $49 million. So for a guy that has had injury history in the past, multiple knee surgeries, he's missed a ton of games, and is about to turn, I believe, he's about to turn 29 years old. So still right in the middle of his prime. But those injury concerns are a worry, along with the fact that defense has been an issue for Zach LaVine his entire career, except for maybe that one season he made the playoffs with the Bulls a couple of years ago, where he made some slight strides, but he's still always been a below average defender. Some of that's effort, some of that's just awareness. But look, I think Zach LaVine, there's no question, he's a career 20-point per game scorer, but since coming to the Bulls, he's a two-time All-Star. He's, every season with the Bulls, well, he had a 4-season stretch with the Bulls before this on where he averaged 26, 27, 25, and 25 on really good efficiency. He's one of the best pull-up shooters in the league, one of the best three-point shooters in the league in terms of just the diversity in his shooting ability and shot creation ability, and the volume he takes. There's no questioning his scoring would help the Pistons. Like, he'd instantly be the Pistons' best, most efficient scorer. But in terms of this trade, like, even when the Zach LaVine initial trade request came out months ago, it feels like I've never been on board with the LaVine trade. And that's because I just don't see how he really kind of, with the money you would be paying and committing to him, it just kind of and the injury history, as well as the defensive issues, I just don't see how he really pushes this team to kind of, relevancy. Like, I could see obviously he would make this team better immediately, but if like that is so much salary, and with the Pistons going to have to pay these young guys soon. Maybe Cade's the only max guy of these four. Maybe that's the reality, but I think I honestly put more value in a guy like Jeremy Grant, or someone that can give you shooting but can also give you defense. Like, I just haven't been in on a Zach LaVine trade at all. And some will say he's been in bad situations in Minnesota and Chicago, and that's why he's only had the one playoff appearance, I believe. But at some point, you know, you can't just blame the team every single season. If you're the best player or second best player, you can't just blame it. Like, at some point, those two things align, and it kind of can, for me, like Zach LaVine, I feel like is the third best guy on like a top 4 team in the East. Like if he goes to somewhere like Philly and is the third guy, kind of behind Maxey and Joel, like that makes sense to me. If he was to go to the Lakers and is the third guy behind LeBron and AD, that makes sense to me. I just don't feel comfortable him coming in to a young Pistons team and like growing with them, because you're going to probably have him for the next 3 to 4 seasons. So it gives me confidence to see that the Pistons have no interest in trading any of those 4 young guys for Zach LaVine, because that would be a huge mistake. Like, even though I don't think the core 4 fits right now, I just think if you're going to move one of them, I think you can do better than Zach LaVine. So that was good to see. If the Pistons do end up making this move because it gets to the point where the Bulls just want to get off LaVine's salary and the Pistons give up, say, Bojan and Marcus Sasser, and, maybe get a second round pick back or something from the Bulls, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I really am not. I think, like, I still just don't really like tying up all that money, even though I think Zach LaVine, he's honestly, it's funny because he's one of the most aesthetically pleasing kind of offensive players to watch in the league when he has it going. Like, I'd be lying if, like I said, just as a basketball purist, like, I love watching Zach LaVine play when he's like cooking. Like, he's athletic, even though he's lost a step a little bit with some of the injuries. Like, still has one of the best first steps in the league. Like, an incredible athlete, incredible shot maker, has every trick in the bag in terms of step backs, fadeaways, all that. Like, a joy to watch. But I don't think he's the right fit for this Pistons team. And I know that might annoy some people because this team, it sucks and they've been horrible. But I've got a few numbers that I'm going to get to after this DeJounte Murray piece on the next talking point, just to show that the Pistons are making some gradual improvements since the last trade. So I guess go read James's article for more on the LaVine thing. I kind of covered it there, but there's some extra tidbits in there. But I think in the general sense, I've covered it. The DeJounte Murray piece of it all, it feels like that was a discussion that happened a few weeks ago. The Hawks reached out to the Pistons, and the Hawks were interested in 2 of the Pistons' blue chip players. So, and some other good stuff. And Detroit immediately shut that down. Which, once again, that I know the trust in this front office is low. Personally, I don't even think this front office should still be, operating and running this team like after setting losing records like they have. Like, I think it's clear change needs to happen there, but feels like they're going to be here at least for one more summer. So to at least see they wouldn't even entertain that kind of deal for DeJounte and giving up onto the young guys is, once again, like, that gives me like the slightest bit of confidence, or just it puts me at ease. So it doesn't look like DeJounte is going to be coming to the Pistons. It sounds like he's either going to go to the Lakers, somewhere like the Knicks, if they can make a deal there. That's just what I've sort of heard just from looking at national reports and that kind of thing, which I'm sure you have seen as well. So just wanted to hit on that. I don't think DeJounte Murray will be a Piston. And finally, a note here that the Pistons have shown progress in their last 5 games. And I think for me, I'm going to read you out these numbers, and I tweeted this out. So if you haven't seen it yet, Pistons NBA rankings since the Marvin Bagley and Isaiah Livers trade for Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. So we have a 5-game sample size. The Pistons are 11th in offensive rating. They are 14th in net rating. So, and they're pretty much even. Like their net rating right now is minus 0.4. So they're competitive. They are 9th in true shooting percentage. So that's well above league average. If you just want to say 15th would be average. They're 4th in pace. So they're pushing the ball more. They're crashing they're grabbing defensive boards and pushing it. And that is a key thing for an athletic team like this. It's important to note Cade has been out for all these 5 games. So Jaden Ivey, Asar Thompson, even Sasa, Boyan, anyone who's got the ball, they're pushing it in transition. And then they're 5th in assist to turnover ratio. So that's huge because turnovers have been a major issue for this team. So in summary, they're 2 and 3 in this span. And by playing with pace, turning it over less, and shooting with above average efficiency. Now, their defense still ranks 22nd in the league. But I think with the veterans they've brought in and just the young guys, I think expecting an uptick in the defense this season is just not going to happen. I don't think they have any good defensive players outside of Isaiah Stewart. So, but the offense, that's encouraging. And those 3 losses have come to the Milwaukee Bucks and Minnesota Timberwolves by an average of 7 points. Games that they were leading in all, and they were right in it until the last few minutes. So I think basically, in summary, I don't blame anyone for wanting the team to make a major move at the deadline. I really don't. But I think surrounding these young guys with veterans that can shoot has, we're seeing some positive results right now. And like I said, Cade is still yet to play. So I think, in summary, I truly don't think a Zach LaVine trade is the right thing to do. I don't know of any other big names on the market. I would still be keen on a Jeremy Grant trade, but there hasn't been much reported about that. So unless the Pistons can get a 4 that can shoot and defend, like a Jeremy Grant, like a Cam Johnson, who that mold of player, I'm all for them maybe just grabbing like a Royce O'Neal, another wing that can shoot and in theory play defense and play good team defense. Because I feel like that's the key here. Although Muscala might not be, an awesome defender, I think just bringing in more veterans, like we saw Monte Morris yesterday, just bringing more veterans that communicate and can help these young guys get in position and, hold them to some account, I think is huge. And we're seeing some positive results. So just a quick trade update. Let me know your thoughts on the Zach LaVine trade. I think I'm pretty much an emphatic no. But like I said, if it comes at the cost of no young guys and none of the blue chippers, I'm not gonna just get on here and blast everyone. But yeah, I'm pretty much a no. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And unless any other news breaks, I will be back to review the Wizards game on Saturday afternoon. So until then, go Pistons.